Okay, the recording is started. Has anybody discovered the YouTube channel? I have the meetings on also.
I haven't looked for it.
Okay, it's basically Tops PA South Central YouTube channel. That's it.
Very good. I like it.
Okay, so because a lot of people don't do Facebook, and they want access to the videos, so that works. So okay, well I will mute everyone. Not invite. Mute, and then where did that go? Then you can unmute yourself when we're done with the pledges. Okay. The Tops pledge. I'm an intelligent person. I will control my emotions, not let my emotions control me. Every time I'm tempted to use food to satisfy my frustrated desires, build up my injured ego, or dull my senses, I will remember I will take off pounds sensibly. Tops pledge. I am an intelligent person. I will control my emotions, not let my emotions control me. Every time I am tempted to use food to satisfy my frustrated desires, build up my injured ego, or dull my senses, I will remember I am to be an example as I keep off pounds sensibly. And to get this, who's that? There we go. Okay, today, Monday, I did chapter 1 of the Blue Book, Real Life Hands on Pounds Off Guide, and which was basic nutrition. And this today is balanced eating, which is pick your plan. Who uses, what plans does everybody use? I count calories. Anybody do the exchange program?
Loosely.
Yeah, I do too. I do I count calories because I have MyFitnessPal because it's easier than writing it all down. But I also try to be conscious of making sure I have my exchanges for fruits and veggies in there. Anybody else? No, I know, Tammy, you do. You do the exchange program, Tammy? Unmute, guys. Unmute. There we go. Tammy, you use the exchange program, correct?
Yes.
So how's it doing? How's it going so far this morning? I know you started over using day 1, starting over.
Really, really good. I had haddock, egg noodles, carrots, and broccoli for supper.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get away from the oatmeal every morning. Trying to do something different because I'm getting tired of plain old oatmeal. But anybody else exchange program?
Portion
Nobody?
sizes.
Anybody tried My Plate? Anybody? I've tried it. It's hard not to pile it up because you know you've got the quarter and half, not to pile it up real high. It really is hard.
The plate?
Right, the My Plate, which is a quarter starch, quarter protein, and the rest fruits and veggies. Okay. I've tried it. And here's Sharon. Hey.
Hi, Sharon.
Okay. Okay, we are going to be starting chapter 2 of the Real Life, the Pick Your Plan. Okay. 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 A good mantra for meal planning is if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. The key word is plan, and at Tops we recommend 3 healthy eating plans: the Food Exchange System, My Plate, and Canada's Food Guide. No one plan will work for everyone. As you read on, think about which plan will best fit for you, because as certain as the sun will rise in the morning, you'll need to eat. And perfectly portioned meals and snacks will not just appear out of thin air. There's a lot to know, but no need to be overwhelmed. If you start with small changes and add more changes gradually, soon you'll create your own personal plan for success. Anybody do any meal prep, like on Sundays, do meal prep for the week?
I have,
Good
but
I
not
don't.
lately.
I've tried.
Try to make
Doesn't
a
always work.
salad ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
I make a huge salad, but it lasts me a couple of days.
Mhm.
I have a salad every night with my meal.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of making a salad every day, I'll make a big salad and I make baked chicken and I have that all cut up and it's ready to go and a lot of food.
You're way ahead of me
preparation
then.
involved.
I don't even do that.
Have
Okay.
to. Have to.
I try.
What keeps me on track? What keeps me on track? Like the other night, I didn't, and I was a disaster. I'm like, I'm hungry now. Can you help me out? Telling my husband, help me out. Like I don't have time to do all this food prepping.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really it keeps me on track to have it already cut up and just pull it out and it's all fresh. Fresh is
Mhm.
fresh.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do processed foods at all.
Mm-hmm.
But that's because I've got health issues. So,
Mm-hmm.
but the low purity diet that I'm on, it
Mhm.
follows the TOPS program.
That's
It's
good.
the TOPS program to a T on portions and yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay. At the beginning of your weight loss journey, cutting calories is crucial. If you notice, if you figure out your calorie load on the tops where you put in your weight, your height, your size frame, it'll tell you what calories you need if you're not active and when you are active. It's about 300 calories difference between, but what you figure, they'll figure it out. You'll also ask if you need to gain weight, lose weight, or maintain. So that'll be different too, because if you're maintaining, you can eat more calories. According to the U.S. Department of Health and Health Services, if you cut 500 calories per day, you can expect to lose 1 pound over the course of a week. Research shows that people who lose 1 or 2 pounds a week are more successful at keeping it off than those who lose more quickly or slowly or quickly. While you can't reach your goal weight overnight, don't overlook the benefits of even modest weight loss. Losing just 5 to 7% of your body weight immediately benefits your body by lowering your blood pressure, cholesterol, and blood sugar levels. Don't get discouraged if you do not see the scale moving downwards as quickly as you like. Remember, this is a journey and enjoy the small milestones along the way, like close that fit much looser. While the benefits of weight loss are pretty straightforward, setting a goal and staying there can be more complicated. Food is an essential part of any weight loss program, and putting together foods to create nourishing meals and snacks every day is challenging and essential to a successful weight loss program. TOPS advocates using the food exchange system, MyPlate, or Canada's food guide. MyPlate and Canada's food guides are simple, while the food exchange system takes a bit more doing. But each of these plans will help you achieve a nutritious and balanced meal plan. Before choosing the plants best for you, be sure to check.
Excuse me.
That's okay. You keep doing that, I'm gonna start learning too. And remember, there are no good, okay, be sure to check with your doctor or registered dietitian. And remember, there's no good or bad foods, just all foods fit in moderation, of course. I mean, you don't have to skip your desserts, just plan for it and portion control. Okay, the exchange system. My book is falling apart. Okay, TOPS recommends the food exchange system as foundation of making healthy nutrition choices. The exchange system does not dictate what you should eat, but rather it guides you to use variety and flexibility in your meal planning at a calorie level that is best for your goals. The exchange system will teach you about specific portion sizes and allows you to plan meals using food that you enjoy and incorporating nutrients that your body needs. In the first chapter, we determined our individual calorie needs for losing 1 or 2 pounds a week. That calorie number carries over here and will be a basis for your meal planning approach. Calories are derived from 3 nutrient sources: carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. Alcohol also gives calories, but in the initial calorie reduction phase of your weight loss journey, it's wise to avoid alcoholic beverages and focus on healthy food choices. In the exchange system, foods are categorized based on their makeup of carbs, proteins, and fats. Foods are placed in one or more of these 7 exchange lists: starches, fruits, milks, sweets, and other carbohydrates, non-starchy veggies, meats and meat substitutes, and fats. The sweet, there was, in the 28-day plan, you notice they have an exchange labeled with like a cupcake.
Other carbohydrates.
Yes, it's like a cupcake. That's where the sweets and other carbohydrates are. Though in the exchange cards, they don't have that. They don't have that group. Each of the 7 groups contains foods that are similar in their proportions of carbs, proteins, and fats. Then there's a free exchange of foods for fewer than 20 calories per serving. So if you have more than 3 of those 20 calories, less than 20 calories, they add up. Like I can have my ginger candies 19, but if I have 3, I gotta count them. So that gets into the other carbs. The word exchange refers to a particular food group's portion. You may exchange one food in the food group for another because their nutritional profiles are similar. Exchanges within one group have comparable numbers of calories and grams of carbs, proteins, and fat per serving. And that's what we were talking about, that yogurt. That was very confusing. But I can see that it's just that Greek yogurt that is just a milk serving. But if they had fruit in it, if they added that fruit, you'd have to add another exchange for that.
Mm-hmm.
The flexibility that comes with being able to exchange foods in the primary strength of the exchange system. You are able to select foods that you enjoy and to personalize your meal plan. Just as you are unlikely to stick with an exercise routine if you don't like that plan's exercise or activity, you won't eat meals made of foods you don't enjoy. The exchange system removes the rigid eat this but not that guidelines that other weight loss plans, but it also requires you to do some work up front. Once you learn the basics of the exchange system, you will see that it can be adapted to the many items, many times when we encounter food. You can use it when planning meals and snacks at home, eating out in restaurants and gatherings, and when going about your day at work, school, or on the road. Okay. We don't need about the history. Does everybody know that the exchange system is based on the American Diabetes Food Exchange? Good. Okay, so we don't need to go on the history. So we did not develop it. The American Diabetes Association and the U.S. Public Health Service did. Using the food system, the food exchange system, the easiest way to start using the exchange system is to learn which foods belong to which group. If you fit these foods into your exchange plan, stay within your calorie limits, and exercise regularly, then ta-da, you lose weight. I like that, ta-da. If only it was that easy. Actually, it can be a little bit more involved than that. And the first step is the learning about individual exchanges. They have a table on the next page that includes an overview of exchange groups and their carb, fat, protein, and calorie count. The advantages of the exchange system: it provides a wide selection of food options for versatility in planning, groups foods with similar nutritional values and calories per serving, promotes variety and a balanced diet, and keeps you accountable for what you eat. How many people food journal? Food journal?
I do.
Tammy, don't you food journal? Or you just, no?
No,
Wow. Then you must have a better memory than me.
No, I've got it down so good.
My memory's not that good.
Just
Memory's not that good. Does
so many fruits, so many vegetables, so many meats. It's portion control.
Does everybody know how many
I do
calories?
have sweets. Because
Does everybody know how many calories are in each exchange group?
That was a treat, but it wasn't.
Terry Ann?
Yeah, there's 80 in the starch, 45 in the fat, 25 in the vegetables, 60 in the fruit, around 70 in the lean meat, and around 90 to like 120 in the milk, or somewheres around that, because the meat has the fat variable, so there's going to be a range of calories, as is the milk. It's going to have the range of the more or less fats is going to provide for a variance in the of calories.
You're pretty darn good, because it has
around there.
yeah, they have the lean meats 45,
Exactly.
medium fat 75, and high fat 100 for meats. I'm more likely the lean, because I eat lots of chicken. I'm going to grow feathers soon. I eat lots of chicken. But yeah, pretty darn good. And I like, it says sweets, desserts, and other carbs. It varies. And then alcohol, then plant-based protein varies, which is because of my plant-based one I use is the cashew butter.
So I've never heard that breakdown of calories. Like,
It is page.
I've only used my day one book.
It should have that in there on my day one also. Does it explains all the group?
Oh, there it is. There it is. I got it.
But it is in there. And that, of course, you see the cupcake here for the other sweets. I mean the sweets and other carbs. And it also breaks down how many of each. If you have a 1,500 calorie diet, 2 milks, the number of exchanges in each one, 2 milks, and they say fat-free milk. 4 veggies, 4 fruit exchanges, 6 starches, 5 meats and meat substitutes, and 5 fats.
So I gotta tell you that you're going off of 15. Oh, this is just a lunch. This is just a 1,500 calorie lunch. 2 starches, 1 fruit, 2 meats, 2 vegetables, and 1 seafood. This is, I got old.
That's the one from the, are you reading from the My Day one?
Yes, it's just a lunch. 1,500.
Yep. Yeah, they divide it out.
This is
They also
something
assume you're
that
having a
was
snack.
given to me like, but it comes from that.
Okay. The starch, they also have on page 40 a week so that you can mark off all your exchanges. See, there we go, a whole week on page 40 of the real life. So you can mark out, it has starches Monday through Friday that for week 1 through week 6. The starches, it includes 15 grams of carbs, 0 to 3 protein, 0 to 1 fat, and it's 80 calories. Starches include the starchy veggies, pasta, rice, bread. It says most 3/4 to 1 ounce of snack foods, and it's the size. The bread would be 1 ounce. A tortilla would be a 6-inch tortilla, small one, not the burrito size. That gives you many, many examples of bread, cereals and grains, and starchy vegetables, crackers, and snacks are all included in starches or carbs. Fruit would be, it's a 15 grams of carbs and 60 calories. It wouldn't be, it would be half a cup of fresh fruit. Or 4 ounces of fresh, 1 small fresh fruit, which would be 4 ounces. Like if it's a banana, you might want to weigh that banana because 4 ounces is 60 calories, but some of those bananas are really dense. And milk is, that's where Ruth, you're the one that had the that milk, that yogurt, Greek yogurt. You're the one that had the Greek yogurt from Monday. Somebody.
Yeah, I wasn't on Monday.
Okay, somebody had a question about the yogurt. They had Greek yogurt, and it had a lot more protein that this list, but it was decided it was just a protein. She was counting it as a protein instead of a milk because it had so much protein in it.
Yeah, I think it's hard to figure out because, like, I do dairy free, and I had a hard time with the exchanges on that also.
Yes. Yes. Because I mean, I could have sworn somewhere in this book it talked about the Greek yogurt, but I couldn't find it anywhere. But a milk exchange has 12 grams of carbs, 8 grams of protein. And for fat-free or 1%, it has 1 to 3 grams of fat, and it's 100 calories. 2% is 5 grams of fat and 120 calories. Excuse me, and whole would be 8 grams of fat and 160 calories. I try to keep to the fat-free or what they call non-fat, but just as because milk, the fat doesn't agree with me. But you can't. I mean, I eat whole yogurt, but much prefer the non-fat. It doesn't separate on me. And they have also dairy-like foods: eggnog, chocolate milk, rice milk. Anybody drink rice milk?
I never even heard of that before.
Yeah, they have rice milk.
My son used to because he had dairy issues when he was little.
I haven't seen it yet.
Milk.
I haven't seen it in our stores, but I've seen oat milk, soy milk, almond milk,
coconut.
Yes. I see that more in the shelf stable in the baking aisle for the coconut milk.
If you get
in jars and cans.
Yeah, if you get the unsweetened almond milk, that's better calorie choice. Looking for an alternative.
One of these days I'll try it, and they have low carb yogurt. But I guess I think that I don't know if it was. I'll have to check on that. I'll have to watch that video again from Monday, because I'm trying to think if I know it had lots and lots of protein, but I don't know if it had a whole lot of carbs in it. Because they had one that's low carb yogurt. I would assume it was fat free. It had carbs because there's no fat. Okay, vegetable
I
list.
do fat yogurt. I do
Uh,
fat yogurt.
Mm-hmm. The
Light and fit.
yeah, I've heard that. The vegetable exchange has 5 grams of carbs and 2 grams of protein, 0 fat. Unless you're gonna put the butter on it, there's no fat. It's 25 calories, and the starchy vegetables have 15 grams of carbs and 80 calories. So your potatoes and corn, and there are other. Try to think of the other starchy vegetables. Which ones goes starch?
Zucchini.
Say that
I
again.
think peas do.
Zucchini.
Starches. Okay, starch list. Now here's all the non-starchy.
Zucchini.
Well, that's in
squash.
the starch list. Starchy vegetables, of course, the salad greens on the free list have fewer than 5 grams of carbs and fewer than 20 calories. So if I tried to get 25 calories for my iceberg lettuce. I could not eat that much lettuce. That was a big bowl of lettuce. It would serve several people. So I was like, okay, I'll have to just go through the 10 calories. It was like 3 cups of lettuce. It's like, that's too much. And they say one exchange is 1 cup of raw vegetables, half a cup of cooked, or half a cup of vegetable juice. Okay. Yeah, and they said looking for corn, peas, and potatoes. They're in the starch section. Meat and meat substitutes. Animal-based proteins that are on the meat substitutes have 0 carbs and 7 grams of protein. Animal-based proteins with varying fats and calories depend on the type. The lean, like chicken, 0 to 3 grams of fat and 45 calories. Medium fat, 4 to 7 grams of fat and 75 calories. High fat, 8+ grams of fat, 100 calories. And of course, they all have 7 grams of protein. When you think of meat and meat substitutes, think protein. The foods on this list are all high in protein, but have varying levels of fat and calories. Proteins can come from animals or plants. And to make things easier for those who cannot do or do not wish to eat meat, we've divided the meat and meat substitutes. Animal-based protein includes, I got a glare here, include fish, poultry, meat, eggs, and cheese, and do not have carbohydrates or fiber, but may be high in fat. It says always cut away the visible fat. No, that's the tastiest part. I eat the fat part. And they choose baking, roasting, broiling, grilling, poaching, steaming, or boiling instead of frying meats. And don't forget when you bread with cornmeal flour or breadcrumbs, you have to add that carb. And it says just 3 tablespoons of one of these dry ingredients, add 15 grams of carbs, and add an extra starch exchange for whenever the exchange value of whatever exchange value of the particular meat is. Okay. Plant-based. How many eat plant-based proteins?
I do.
My cashew butter. It's the only one. Only one.
Every so often I have a veggie burger, but like, is that what you're asking about? Or are you asking people who
That would be,
don't
because
eat
that's like what? It's soy?
I'm not even sure. But it's like,
Just
but
gonna check.
I mean, I eat them semi-regularly, but not all the time. Water, carrots, onions, soy flour, egg whites, mushrooms, whole grain oats, wheat gluten, water, chestnuts, and green bell peppers, brown rice, and red peppers.
Does it have any protein in it?
It has, sorry about that. It has,
She dropped us on the floor.
It has 11 grams of protein per burger.
Wow.
Yeah.
But did you say egg whites?
It does have egg whites. So yeah, I just realized
So that's
that.
protein.
So it's technically not
That's not vegan.
Yeah, that's not vegan is right.
No.
I'm realizing this now because in my mind, it's a veggie burger. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's
All
made
right.
of vegetables and egg whites.
That
basically,
Yeah.
yeah. Sorry. Okay.
usually has some egg whites in it.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay, it says plant-based proteins include beans, peas, and lentils, which have carbohydrates and fiber. The carbohydrate content of plant differs, so you have to read the food labels. Many food labels will say that plant-based proteins count as a meat substitute and a carb. A carb choice is one that has 17 grams of carbs or more. Whenever you see carbohydrate exchange on the food label, simply count it as a starch. Please be aware that small amounts of nut butters count as a fat exchange. For example, when you spread 1 or 2 teaspoons of peanut butter on toast, that counts as a fat, not a meat. So if I want like a teaspoon of cashew butter on my toast, that's a fat. But if I take a whole tablespoon and put it on my toast, that's a meat. So a little bit is a fat, more is protein. That was my biggest part of trying to figure that one out. It's like, do I want a fat or do I want a meat in the morning? So it says plant-based proteins that are meat and meat substitutes have 7 grams of protein and varying amounts of carbohydrates, fats, and calories. But if you look at the jars of peanut butter and cashew butter, they're saying a tablespoon is peanut butter and cashew butter is a protein, but according to the labels, they do not have 7 grams of protein. So that was confusing for me. And they have fell apart. It says in most house material, there is no distinction between the fat levels in food in the same exchange group, because many people find this too confusing. Me, especially when they are first on the exchange system. Tosh recommends that you choose proteins with fewer than 5 grams of fat per 3-ounce serving as often as possible. Yeah, no one wants to eat a whole lot of high-fat meats. I grew up on high-fat meats, and my body's not very good because of it. Too many fat meats. And they also list all the processed high-fat meats. It looks like they're all processed. Hot dogs, beef, chicken combination, sausages, processed meats like bologna, hard salami, pastrami, any sausages like bratwurst, chorizo. Everything on the high-fat meats is processed. And they also have a list of plant-based proteins: almond butter, bacon strips, which are have anybody ever? They say soy-based bacon strips. I've never seen those. Has anybody had those? I've
wouldn't eat.
turkey bacon, but not soy bacon. Baked beans, cooked beans, beef or soy-based sausage, chicken nuggets, soy-based. Endeme, but is that soy? I think
Edamame.
yes.
Edamame.
Yes, that's how you say it.
Yeah.
Falafel, soy-based hot dogs. A lot of the plant-based is soy-based. Lentils, meatless burgers, soy-based. Meatless burgers, vegetable and starch-based, which is your veggie burger. And they say 2.5 ounce veggie burger is 1 carb and 2 lean meats. Peas, peanut butter, refried beans, sausage patties, soy-based, soy nut butter, soy nut salted, tempeh, tofu, and light tofu. That's what they list as their plant-based. The fat exchange has 0 carbs, 0 protein, and 5 grams of fat and 45 calories. So basically 6 almonds or a teaspoon of mayonnaise regular or a teaspoon of butter is a fat. And I've noticed also I use fat-free ranch dressing. You gotta count that as a starch. it's not a fat. There's no fat in it, so it's got all carbs. So that was my biggest thing. It's like, okay, I was counting as a fat. It's like, no, it has no fat in it. You can't have it as a fat. And then they go on to saturated, not polyunsaturated fats, and bringing down the fats. We don't need to see that. And it says, seeing double, pork and turkey bacon are considered either fats or high-fat meats, depending on the amount. One slice of bacon is considered a fat. 2 is a meat. So you can have 2 pieces of bacon and consider it your meat, or have 1 and have a fat. And then they have a free food list, which has less than 5 grams of carbs, 0 protein, 0 fat, less than 20 calories, which is 1 piece of hard candy or piece of gum, 1 tablespoon of fat-free or reduced fat sour cream, 2 tablespoons of fat-free Italian dressing, or 1 tablespoon of liquid non-dairy creamer. Then it goes on to condiments, seasonings, drinks. Seasonings, no calories. And let me see, I know they have, then of course they have combination foods and all that. And then let me see if they go on to the My Plate. I know there is. Okay, My Plate is, and then of course on page 71, they give you portion sizes in, 4-inch pancakes the size of a CD or DVD. Cooked pasta, a third of a cup of pasta is the size of a lemon. Fruit exchange, 2 tablespoons of raisins is 1 large marshmallow. A small apple looks like a baseball. 2/3 cup of fat-free yogurt the size of a light bulb. 1 cup of raw vegetables looks like a tennis ball. Half a cup of cooked vegetables looks like half a tennis ball. 3 ounces of grilled fish is a size of a checkbook. 3 ounces of chicken is a deck of cards. 2 tablespoons of peanut butter is the size of a golf ball. 1 ounce of cheese looks like four small dice put together. 2 tablespoons of reduced fat salad dressing, size of a shot glass. A teaspoon of margarine looks like 1 small die. Half a cup of ice cream, half a baseball. And then they go on to the My Plate. But no one has tried My Plate. I tried it last September.
It's pretty true to what your portion should be.
Right. Right. I mean, even we could always.
You gotta be careful you don't top it.
Yeah, you don't
pile it.
You don't pile it high. The My Plate, if you're looking for something a bit simpler than food exchange, but you want to keep your diet balanced, one answer is My Plate. The USDA is the governmental agency tasked with creating nutrition education tools for the public. Previous guides included the 1992 the Pyramid, and the My Period teaching tool in 2005. In 2011, they revised it to the My Plate. I know the SNAP or the food stamps goes by, or the food pantry uses the My Plate also. My local exchange, when they teach about nutrition, they use My Plate. The My Plate food group organizes food into 5 groups: fruits, vegetables, grains, proteins, and dairy. Added fats and sugar should be used sparingly. My Plate offers portions differ from exchange system portions. The portion in My Plate tend to be bigger and closer to the portion sizes that most of us normally eat. You may be surprised to see, however, that even though the My Plate portions are larger than the exchange system, they may still be much smaller than you're used to eating. I've also noticed, because I've gone on to myplate.gov, they ask you to put your age in, because they're saying people like in my age group, in my late 50s, I need more calories. I guess because the way our bodies are, we need more to. But I mean, they say, I think 2,000 is like, I don't eat that much. But they do ask you to go put your age in. They have fruits. Okay. Yes, in page 77, it goes by age also. For the My Plate daily fruit recommendations, they break it down 19 to 30, 31 to 50, and 51 and plus. And it's different for males and females. My age group, the men, 2 cups of fruit and 1.5 cups for females. That's the biggest difference that I see for difference between exchange system and My Plate. They take into account your age and whether you're a guy or a gal. For veggies, for 51 and plus, 2.5 cups for men, 2 cups for females. For grains.
So this man gets way more than we do.
For grains, for 51 plus, 6 ounces for men, 5 ounces for women. Minimum amount of whole grains. They're saying we each should have 3 ounces of whole grains. And the whole grains, they consider the oatmeal, brown rice, popcorn, whole wheat cereal flakes, whole wheat bread, whole wheat crackers. The refined grains, which is included in all the grains, is the corn flakes, cornbread, crackers, flour tortillas, Kaiser rolls, and white rice. So they divide it out farther as they want you to have at least 3 ounces of whole grains in your daily intake. And proteins, they consider 51 plus is 5.5 ounces for men, 5 ounces for women. So I like the fact that they take into account our age, because like my grandson's growing. He needs more than I would need for his development. And dairy, 51 plus is 3 cups each. 3 cups for men and 3 cups for women. And they consider 8 ounces of milk, 8 ounces of yogurt, 1/3 cup shredded cheese, milk-based desserts, 1/2 cup, frozen yogurt, 1/2 cup. That differs that. And it says for like a 1,500 they go 1,200, 1,400, 1,600, 1,800, and 2,000. They don't have a 1,500 category. And to balance it says like for balancing your breakfast, what they have is, wow, I don't think you can see it. That's their breakfast plate, which is a piece of bread. They have 4 ounces of tomato juice, cup of blackberries, 1 slice of toast, 1 egg, 1 cup yogurt, 1 teaspoon margarine. So that to me is a big breakfast, but it can all go right on top of that piece of toast. And then they have examples of balancing all your plates here. They even have, has anybody no one's here. Molly, have you tried the Canada's Food Guide?
I have. It's basically the exchange program, really. It's just
Yep.
eating from all the different food groups.
Yeah, I haven't read this in China. I never went this far. I always stopped reading this chapter after the food exchange because that works for me. So I've never read this far into this chapter. Do you know if there's anything different that in the food exchange than the Canadian's food guide?
Well, they changed the Canadian food guide a while back, and it's weird. I couldn't even tell you what it is, but I know when it came out, I didn't like it.
I know.
I don't know. I don't know why they changed it.
I have I keep getting updates because I signed up for the mailing list for the Canada's food guide, and it's pretty good. I mean, the emails I get, it's more of a reminder to start doing things. But the tips I like this one. It has tips for tracking in the Canada's food guide. It said, write down everything you eat and drink. Try to record your meals and snacks as soon as you eat them to avoid calorie amnesia. How many have victims of calorie amnesia? I like that saying, calorie amnesia. Yes. Don't forget the details. Instead of writing turkey sandwich, write down how many pieces of meat and bread as well as toppings. Condiments count. Jot down mayo, dressings, butter, jams, and so on. These easily add hundreds of extra calories. Write down how you felt when you eat. This is what I like. Write down how you felt when you eat. This will help you identify if you're eating out of boredom, sadness, loneliness, or frustration. Remember, if you cheat on your food diary, you're only cheating yourself. I like that. I'm going to have to post that on my page. Calorie amnesia. I like that. And the Canada's food guide also goes age groups also. They have children 2 to 3, 4 to 8, 9 to 13, then teens 14 to 18. But they break down 19 to 50 and then 50 and plus. And they have different requirements for food, in whether you're male or female. Anything else? And they're also the Canada's food guide also goes into, it has a list of spring, summer, fall, winter veggies, or and based on that too. It also has strategies for snacking, strategies for eating out. Oh, and here's one, salad sabotage. If you're ordering a dinner salad just to be good, you may be surprised at how many salads can sabotage your good intentions and meal plan. Here are some situations where you want to think twice about ordering a salad. It comes with breadsticks, bottomless breadsticks, Olive Garden. It's loaded with high-fat dressing, cheese, bacon, and breaded chicken. If you're really hungry and will probably end up eating the fries off your dinner date's plate. It's served in a deep fried bowl. I've had one of those. It has words like explosion, monster, or annihilation in its name. You plan to wash it down with a jumbo margarita. Yeah, that's interesting. And it also has strategies for eating out. But it also says, it's at the bottom line, there's no one right way to eat healthy and lose weight. Different things work for different people, depending on their health, lifestyle, and personality. No matter which food plan you decide to follow, you'll have to invest a little energy before you see the payoffs. Give yourself time to adjust. After all, time to adjust, time to succeed, and room to make mistakes and grow. After all, you're not starting a diet, you're creating a new lifestyle. Yeah, that phrased the question. How many of you use, what kind of plans do you use for your eating plan? Have you,
I'm-
anyone?
I'm like plant-based.
Mhm.
So I had been vegan
Mhm.
and had a subscription with this gal who put out every week. She would put out menu, shopping list,
Mhm.
how to oh, I forgot the term you used, cook everything in one day and have it
Mhm.
ready to go.
Meal plan.
It was a meal, well, batch cook.
Right, that's good. Mhm.
Yes, yes. And that was wonderful. And so now I am more plant-based. I don't eat much meat products.
Mhm.
So that really helps me.
That's good. You found what works for you, which is
Yeah.
awesome. A lot of people
Yeah.
are, I mean, it took me 4 years, almost 5 years to figure out what actually works for me. And it was hard. And I ended up going right back to where I started because it works.
Mm.
But I had to try. I had to try. Anybody else? Nobody? What
I
do you use?
plant-based as well.
Go ahead.
I do plant-based as well.
Mm-hmm. Total plant-based?
Yes.
Nice.
And I have to do gluten-free as well too.
Oh, I've learned
Oh.
I'd have to do that too. But unfortunately, because of food allergies and intolerances, I can never be plant-based. Everything's got stuff I've tried because I'm allergic to legumes, peanuts,
Mhm.
so everything, a lot. I found a lot of gluten-free has lotus bean flour, lotus bean protein, or pea fiber that I like breathing more than I like non-gluten-free. Really like breathing. But it's like I learned that by mistake. It's like I'm thinking it's like why am I having problems breathing? And I'm reading down like the second to last ingredient was pea hull fiber. It's like that's a legume. It's like crap. It's like okay,
Oh.
time for some Benadryl. It sneaks. Or I have a Kashi bar that I read the ingredients and I bought it and I had one. It's like what's going on? The very last ingredient was peanut flour. And it's not on the allergy list. They did not list it on the allergens. It's like, you really have to watch those labels.
When you say meal plan, what I'm on is a low purine diet and a low calcium oxalate diet.
Because of your kidneys?
A low fat because of my kidneys and
Right.
in the development I have kidney stones. So
And it's working for you?
CKD that I have, no cake, no cookies, no gravy, no dressings, no. It really limits what I can eat, and it makes my meals very bland. No salt.
Yep. I have to be bland also.
I'm also on a high potassium because my potassium levels are very low. So I eat a lot of potassium.
And what has potassium in it?
In the long run, I mean, that's really what's helped me get the weight, because I was eating all that stuff. I was a sweetaholic. Well, broccoli,
oh yeah, I was too.
Potatoes, bananas,
yeah, I only have
what I eat.
bananas that potassium.
But I eat a lot of broccoli. I think zucchini. But I used to eat potatoes and I love the skin, and I'm not supposed to eat the skins. So I've cut the skins of the potatoes out. My diet has been so changed. You can't have cocoa no chocolate.
I like
Very
the
bland.
chocolate.
It's
Yeah,
I
you
can
you
have
do what?
cheese though, and I can no bologna.
Mm-hmm.
None
The
of
high-fat processed.
high fat meats. I can't.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, you do what's best for your body.
So, but that was what I was eating.
I was there too. I was there too.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I was with the sweets and the
And
high-fat
you
meats.
know,
And,
you do the exchanges, but I can't find it. So I didn't really do the calories, like how much calories I'm a visual learner, so
Mhm.
that My Day One book, I didn't know the real life book had visuals. I'd
Mhm.
never seen the real life book and never introduced to it. So what I got from my leader was the My Day One, and that just, when I rejoined in 2016, that's what I was handed. And
Mhm.
it was like somebody just opened the world. It was like,
Mhm. Yeah, I mean,
I could see.
yeah,
what
I've loved the newest
portion
My
was
Day One is
supposed to
awesome.
be just to say, you know, to see it in black and white and read it meant nothing to me. I had to visually.
Mhm. Yep.
That's
Yeah, the newest My Day One I really like much better than the old one.
Didn't they give the latest one in like a
It
magazine in
is.
It was
January a couple years
June,
ago?
July,
And then just to learn
2018,
So
right in the
you
middle
know,
of the page.
will we get another one, or
where
that
they
was a
saw
new,
how many meats,
That's the
how many
newest
new
one.
slices, how many.
Mm-hmm.
It just all.
was that, so
Mm.
they revised it in that June, July 18,
Right.
and that's why they put the magazine, so that's why everybody got it.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
It came in the magazine. It was a centerfold.
Okay.
And I really liked it. It basically flipped the switch for me too, because it was more reader friendly. I really liked it.
If you're a new member, you're supposed to get a new member.
Does anybody have any
Do
victories
all your
this week?
new members get one?
Yes,
Joanne?
they're supposed to get one. And once you the membership papers go into TOPS, the chapter will be giving a replacement one for the next new member. They'll get the TOPS will send a new My Day One and a new application to replace what was used.
Nice.
So they'll always, and if your chapter needs more, you can get it from the advocate or coordinator,
That's-
because we always have
An
them.
advocate supply freely.
Anybody have any victories this week? Nothing? No food, clothes it looser or
I bought a new pair of pants.
smaller?
Smaller.
Yes, that's a great victory.
Like,
I needed to use
Yeah.
a belt this week to keep them up. That's a good victory.
great.
It is, to me, that's a great victory.
I got a smaller coat.
Yeah. Oh, me
Yeah.
too. I had to get a smaller coat. All my coats are too big from last year. I love that one. I love that one. Anybody else? No?
Got a new winter coat.
Mm-hmm.
I
What'd you
went
say?
buy a new winter coat. I got a new winter coat. I didn't buy one last year. I bought it at a church bazaar because I knew I would still be losing, and
That's good. So
I
you
didn't wanna
finally
put
got
the
one?
money out. So I went-
Good.
I got one. I can't wait to wear
That,
it.
well, I don't want to have to wear my winter coat anytime soon,
Not
but I
that
did
I'm
get
wishing
a size small.
Not that I'm wishing the cold on us.
Okay, how many have had snow so far? How many have had their first
I'll
snow?
ever see a small.
We
God.
just had 14 inches the last few days.
What?
Yeah.
14
Wyoming?
inches?
What?
Yes.
Wow.
Keep it. You keep it.
Yes.
I don't want it.
Wyoming. Wow.
I don't
Oh,
want it.
God.
Yeah, it was not
We
fun.
just had a light sprinkle, a light, and it came down and turned to rain.
We've had a hard frost, but no
I
snow so
don't
far.
think it would
Fingers
be.
crossed, none. Don't want
They
it.
said they said that this area might get some snow around Halloween. That's in the Hudson Valley of New York. So
Mhm. Yeah. I think my sister in Clifton Park already had their first snow.
okay,
They're 10 miles above Albany.
okay.
And I believe the cabin in the Adirondacks also got snow already. I told her she can keep it. I do not want it. I do not want it. I am just, no. I'm still mowing my lawn. I don't want any snow. I have to mow the lawn one more time. But where'd you guys go? I must have touched my mouse and you guys disappeared. So, okay, let's do the never quit
That's not
pledge.
good.
I know. It's like, okay, where'd you go? All of a sudden I was seeing Facebook. Okay. Today I promise I will not quit. I pledge that no matter how many ups and downs I pass through, I will continue on my journey. I pledge to make a new start today and forgive myself for my past and to stop being so critical of myself. I pledge to take control of myself, to stop making excuses and stop blaming other people and situations. I pledge to treat myself as I would my best friend because that is who I am. I pledge to stay in the race and to be a winner. Everybody, hopefully I will, and tomorrow I'm gonna try to remember to be on your Zoom on tomorrow night, Sharon. So I'll try to remember, it's on my
Well,
schedule. It's been
okay.
hectic these days, so.
Tammy's got the lesson tomorrow,
Yes,
so.
yes, she told me. That's why she reminded me to come on. But
I'm a little bit nervous about it, but I'm
Does anybody need the
Because I have to
numbers? There's a
use the
couple of
phone.
people there that might not have my numbers for my Zoom.
anybody need her Zoom numbers?
Could you? Yeah. Could I have it again?
Okay.
It's late though.
I know. She'll put it in the chat. She'll write it down
Want
in
me
the
in the
chat.
chat? Okay, hang
Yeah.
on.
Okay.
That way we
Okay.
can just write it down.
I'm sure I got it or else I'll be in trouble.
There you be.
That's the meeting number.
Yes,
Is there a password?
I'm typing it.
Okay, there you go.
Thank
There
you.
you
Uh-huh.
What time is that meeting?
7:30 Central Time.
So 8:30 Eastern.
So what is that number? It's 8869
869-5534-3949.
Got the right one.
Okay, let me take a picture of that.
Hopefully I
That
did
would
it
be
all
easy,
right.
or I can just save it. I think I can.
869-5534-3949. 706
Okay.
546. Okay.
Okay, took a picture.
Okay.
That works. I took a picture. There it is. So okay, everybody,
All
you
right.
guys have a great night, and tomorrow I'll see Tammy and Sharon. See you later.
Bye.
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 Hi.